Are you ready to be amazed? Welcome to Zarpado, your favorite channel of curiosities. Don't forget to subscribe because you won't see this top in class. Greta Garbo was a nude film star, but at 36, she disappeared from the public eye without explanation. She didn't announce her retirement or give interviews. She simply stopped acting and rejected all exposure. She moved to New York, where she lived alone for almost 50 years, avoiding cameras and contact with the world. Many speculated about her motives, but she simply said, "I want to be alone." She died in 1990, and her funeral was private, as it had been for her entire life since. In Florida, there's a hotel shaped like a giant guitar that shines in the sky, the Guitar Hotel. Standing 465 feet tall with LED lights simulating strings, it's part of the Seminole Hard Rock Complex. It has more than 1,200 rooms, luxury suites inspired by rock legends, and even a nighttime light show visible from miles away. Sleeping there is like living inside a concert. This is the Silence Mask, a device created by Sky that absorbs 80% of voice vibrations and blocks out external noise. Ideal for calls in public places, it uses military-grade material similar to that used to silence airplane engines. It's currently seeking support for mass production and is known as CES 2023. This is Handy Gang, a Chinese YouTuber known as the Useless Edison, for creating inventions that are as curious as they are impractical. Among his creations is a piano grill on a tricycle where he could play and grill meat at the same time. Although his inventions aren't functional, they stand out for their creativity. Alibaba's Fly Zoo Hotel in China is a futuristic example of hospitality, where almost everything is operated by robots. From check-in to room service and opening doors, everything is done with artificial intelligence and facial recognition, eliminating the need for human staff in many areas. The art of record-breaking can be as peculiar as it is surprising. Chanel Tapper boasts the world's longest tongue, measuring an impressive 3.8 inches in length. This measurement, taken from the upper lip to the tip of the tongue, has earned her several awards. One of her most notable skills is that, thanks to her tongue, she can lick her elbow, something most of us can't even attempt. In Austria, there is an impressive stairway to heaven that connects two rocky peaks via a 131-foot-high staircase. This via ferrata, known as the Himmlische Leiter, is located in the Dachstein region near Gossau and consists of metal rungs suspended from steel cables. It is not suitable for people with vertigo, as the sensation of height is dizzying. The Selkirk Rex is known as the sheep cat for its curly coat, the result of a natural mutation discovered in 1987. Unlike other Rex breeds, its curls are denser and fluffier, and even its whiskers curl. This breed combines exoticism with a calm and affectionate personality, ideal for those looking for an unusual cat who also loves cuddles. In Mongolia, the most extreme hangover remedy is an ancient concoction called sheep's eye and tomato juice, served cold in a glass. Tradition holds that this gelatinous and salty concoction, originating in the time of Genghis Khan, helps restore balance after a night of excess. It's a combination of superstition, ancient medicine, and stomach courage. Would you dare to try it? In the film world, a bald cap is that ingenious cap that transforms any actor into a bald man in a matter of minutes. Made of latex or ultra-thin silicone, it requires great precision to apply. First, the hair is hidden, then secured with professional glue, and then applied to mimic skin tone and texture. Sometimes even veins or shine are added for added realism. Kawasaki is developing a quadrupedal horse robot called Corleo, which uses hydrogen as its power source. This innovative all-terrain vehicle is designed to offer a new form of transportation with capabilities that make it ideal for difficult terrain. Scheduled for 2050, its futuristic design is reminiscent of robots in science fiction movies, merging advanced technology and sustainability. In Japan, sales of adult diapers are outstripping those of baby diapers due to the growing aging population. Approximately 30% of Japanese people are over 65, which has generated a high demand for senior care products. Furthermore, the birth rate continues to decline, with only 758,631 births in 2023, a 5.1% decrease from the previous year. New York City is home to the world's most expensive parking garage, priced at $300,000. This underground parking space is fully automated, allowing drivers to drop off or pick up their car at the touch of a button. This innovative parking system, known as Auto Valet, uses advanced technology to maximize space and efficiency. Have you ever seen a floating hologram in the air? Well, it exists. Boxon's volumetric display projects lifelike 3D holograms that you can observe from any angle. And the best part is, you can play video games inside those holograms. It's science fiction taken to the next level. Universal Studios has found a fun way to use robot dogs, turning them into dragons. They covered them in toothless costumes, the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon, and the result is so realistic it looks like the movie's dragons have come to life. A futuristic touch that works magic on screen. Did you know there are meat-eating wasps? Although the adults prefer nectar, their young can't digest sugar. They need protein, so they hunt insects or scavenge for dead meat. A rather savage menu, but very effective for their survival. Do you know Frank Cannonball Richards? If not, prepare to be amazed. This carnival performer became a legend by allowing himself to be punched in the stomach in extreme ways, from jumps to hammer blows. And if that weren't enough, he allowed himself to be shot with a cannonball. He only did this twice a day because the pain was so brutal. A true spectacle buff, he passed away at the age of 81 in 1969. Here's some amazing technology. Bone conduction headphones transmit sound through the bones of the skull, allowing you to listen to music without using your eardrums. The vibrations travel through the jaw and skull to reach the brain. Although it's a brilliant innovation, it's important not to turn the volume up to maximum, as a loud noise can damage your hearing cells. In Madrid, Leo Bassi founded a church that worships a yellow rubber duck. That's right, the political church celebrates masses and events like weddings and baptisms, with the rubber duck considered a happy loser to whom they pay homage with their own liturgy. Leo Bassi, self-proclaimed Bishop of the Rubber Duck, has only one commandment: have a sense of humor. A very peculiar religion, no doubt. The Basenji is the only dog breed that doesn't bark, and it's quite a mystery. Originally from Central Africa, it communicates through howls, growls, and whines due to a peculiarity in its vocal cords, which are narrower than those of other dogs. This unique dog surprises with his way of expressing himself, without a single bark. At 99 years old, Betty Brussel has broken 3 world swimming records in the 100 and 104-year-old age categories. She beat the record by almost 4 minutes in the 437-yard freestyle, and that same day she also broke records in the 55-yard backstroke and 55-yard breaststroke. Her passion for swimming began at age 60, and since then, she has been a regular at her local pool twice a week. What you're seeing is an optical illusion called the parallax effect in airplanes. This phenomenon occurs when an airplane appears to be stopped in the air, even though it's actually moving forward. It occurs when the airplane is flying at low speed and the observer is moving, creating the illusion of stillness. Although it seems like a visual trick, it's a real phenomenon that plays with our perception. At Orlando International Airport in Florida, there is a hyper-realistic sculpture called The Traveler. This work of art is the creation of artist Duane Hansen and has captivated travelers for over 37 years. The statue depicts a weary traveler with a facial expression so lifelike that it seems he's about to speak. Do you know the Manpupineer Pillars? There are 7 enormous rock formations in the remote Ural Mountains, Russia. Their strange shape is the result of millions of years of wind, rain, and erosion. What were once mountains now resemble stone columns that have withstood the test of time, as if they had survived an apocalypse. Not sure if a pineapple is ripe? Here's a foolproof trick. Pull a leaf from its crown. If it comes off easily, it's ready to enjoy. A simple and effective method to know when it's ripe. Try it and see. Have you seen this Goku lamp? It uses magnets to float and spin in the air as if it had the power of a scion. It's an incredible toy that combines technology and style, perfect for any fan's desk. A geeky touch that will brighten up your space. This is Isao Machi, the fastest swordsman on the planet. With almost superhuman reflexes and impeccable precision, he has broken several Guinness World Records with his katana. His movements are so impressive, they seem like they're straight out of a live-action anime. A real slicing machine. Wilaiwan Min Gwen, a 30-year-old Thai woman, works two jobs, as an office worker and a pastry chef. However, her social media fame comes from one of her most original creations, dog poop-shaped cakes. This peculiar blend of art and cuisine has earned her attention in several Asian countries. A touch of humor in baking that doesn't go unnoticed. Did you know that Spain leads the world in baldness? 44.5% of Spanish men suffer from baldness. On the other hand, Mexico tops the list of bald men in Latin America. However, the hairiest countries in the world are Colombia and Indonesia, where hair density is much higher. The world record for the tallest Jenga tower stacked with a single block is 3,132 pieces, achieved by Mindert de Beer in Dresden, Ontario, Canada. This impressive tower reached a height of over 39 inches, a feat of precision and patience that defies gravity. Without a doubt, a truly giant Jenga tower. A 3D digital billboard image of a giant cat is attracting attention in Tokyo. A cool new cat is taking the city by storm. Lucy Craft has the story of how a 3D cat video display is drawing crowds and raising a lot of questions. Off the coast of Japan, 66 feet beneath the sea, a mystery unfolds that has baffled scientists for decades. Perfect circles in the sand on the seafloor, symmetrical, with patterns so complex they look like they were made by aliens. But no, the creator? A male pufferfish, barely 5 inches long. For days, this tiny underwater artist swims nonstop, using his fins to sculpt the rings, add details with shells, cast shadows, and create textures. The reason? All that artistry has one goal: to attract a mate. Females only choose the males who create the most perfect circles. And once the female deposits her eggs in the center, he guards the structure until they hatch. Then the circle fades away, like an ephemeral work. Prince was a musical genius and an absolute perfectionist who hid hundreds of songs during his lifetime. After his death in 2016, a secret vault was discovered in his studio containing more than 8,000 unreleased recordings. There were full albums, collaborations, scores, and previously unreleased private concerts. Prince believed his art should be presented perfectly, or not at all. That's why he preferred to save many of his works rather than release them poorly edited. It is estimated that more than 50 albums could be released from his secret archive. Dogs have such an incredible sense of smell that they can detect diseases faster than an MRI. Some with special training identify cancers such as lung, breast, or colon with over 90% accuracy. They do this by smelling compounds released by tumors that humans cannot perceive. In countries like Japan, Germany, and the US, they are already used in hospitals to aid in diagnosis. Deep in the Pacific Ocean lives the firefly squid, or Watacenia scintillans, a tiny 2.75-inch creature that is a living lantern. Its body is covered with photophores, structures that emit an intense blue light, especially during mating season, illuminating the coasts of Japan like an underwater aurora. The squid glows to attract mates, confuse predators, and communicate with others. It can turn areas of its body on and off, as if writing Morse code. In The Hangover, Stu's missing tooth isn't a trick. Ed Helms actually removed a dental implant. He was born with a tooth that never grew properly and had worn a prosthesis since he was 15. For the film, he agreed to have it temporarily removed by his dentist. He spent several days filming like this, even adapting to speaking and eating, all to give the character more realism. Did you know that there is a garden in Dubai called Miracle Garden with more than 109 million colorful flowers? This incredible place has a peculiarity. Some flowers are arranged in the shape of airplanes, creating a unique visual spectacle. The park is only open from November to April due to the extreme summer heat, and it is so impressive that it looks like a Disney park, but everything is made of plants. The polar plunge is a tradition in which brave individuals plunge into icy water to raise funds for various charitable causes. Although it's held all over the world, the most extreme events occur at the poles, where temperatures can drop below zero. Participants, with a lot of courage and ice in their veins, brave the extreme cold in an act of generosity. When someone steals an iPhone, don't expect to see Apple employees intervening. The company prohibits its staff from intervening in these cases to ensure its safety. Furthermore, iPhones have advanced tracking technologies that allow the device to be located, and some models even take selfies of the thief. In Brazil, a prison decided to replace guard dogs with geese. These animals are cheap, territorial, and very alert, making them effective for security. In addition to not being fooled by food, geese emit loud honks to alert officers if someone tries to escape. With their fierce demeanor, these winged vigilantes have proven to be a surprisingly effective alternative in prison settings. The Avengers headquarters, that impressive ring-shaped building, is based on a real location, the Porsche headquarters in Atlanta. This modern and futuristic design debuted in Captain America: Civil War and has been an iconic symbol in the Marvel Universe. The inspiration for this headquarters reflects the hero's innovative and technological nature. Can you imagine walking in any direction without moving? That's what Disney's HoloTile does. An omnidirectional floor that simulates real movement in virtual reality. It detects your steps and compensates for them instantly, preventing collisions or falls. It's like a 360-degree magic treadmill. In 1988, Aloha Airlines Flight 243 suffered an explosive decompression. At 24,000 feet, part of the roof ripped off, exposing several passengers. Despite the chaos, the crew maintained control and made an emergency landing in Hawaii. Most survived, something almost impossible in those conditions. Only one flight attendant died, sucked out of the plane, a case studied in Aviation to this day. Did you know that throughout the Twilight Saga, there are more than 25 minutes of just intense stares without saying a word? Bella and Edward communicate with tense silences, almost as if they're reading minds. These scenes, often with soft music playing in the background, became iconic, so much so that fans consider them part of the vampire love language. The California Alligator Farm was a theme park in Los Angeles that operated from 1907 to 1953. It housed over 1,000 alligators, and for just 25 cents, children could sit on or ride them. Adults even swam with them. Over time, the park lost popularity and closed. Although it may sound counterintuitive, consciously inducing hiccups can help eliminate them. The idea is that hiccups are an involuntary spasm of the diaphragm, and by consciously trying to reproduce them, you can reset the system. Some techniques include holding your breath, swallowing several times, or drinking water in small sips. If your dog has ever made a strange sound while inhaling, they're probably experiencing reverse sneezing, also known as paroxysmal respiration. This phenomenon occurs when a dog inhales sharply instead of exhaling, causing a strange noise. To relieve it, you can close their muzzle, plug one nostril, and gently rub their throat. The first animated feature film in history wasn't American, but Argentine. Titled The Apostle, it premiered in 1917 and was directed by Federico Valle, with drawings by Corino Cristiani. This pioneering film lasted 70 minutes and featured 8,000 drawings, marking a milestone in the history of animated film. Unfortunately, only fragments of the film survive, as it was destroyed in a fire. NASCAR cars are true speed beasts. They have 400 horsepower and can reach up to 200 miles per hour. Their acceleration is impressive, going from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 3.4 seconds. Plus, the speed they generate is so powerful that they can drag people along if they're close to the vehicle. What if I told you there's a fungus that can control an animal's mind and turn it into a living puppet? Welcome to the dark, damp world of Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, the zombie fungus. This tiny biological psychopath infects an ant, burrows into its nervous system, and forces it, literally, to climb a leaf to a specific height where it clamps down with its mandibles and waits. Within days, the fungus bursts out of its body and grows from its head like an alien antenna. But that's not the craziest part. Recent research shows that the fungus doesn't invade the ant's brain. It controls its muscles with chemicals. In other words, the ant is conscious while being manipulated. Daniel Day-Lewis took his role in My Left Foot to the extreme. He spent 8 weeks in a wheelchair, unable to walk once. He demanded to be fed as if he actually had a disability and never broke character. He even lived in a psychiatric clinic to observe paralyzed patients. He practiced painting and writing with his foot until it bled. His obsessive dedication earned him an Oscar, although many called him unstable. In 1987, Marlee Matlin made history by winning the Oscar for Best Actress at just 21 years old, and in her first film role. She did so by playing a young deaf woman in Children of a Lesser God, using only sign language. Marlee, who lost almost all of her hearing as a baby, chose not to wear hearing aids in her adult life. During filming, she fought to ensure her character wasn't translated, advocating for a dignified representation of the deaf community. In 2001, residents of Kerala, India, experienced a strange phenomenon, red rain, which dyed everything in its path. At first, it was thought to be desert dust or pollution, but scientists discovered biological cells within the droplets. These particles didn't match any known organism and contained no DNA. Some suggested they could have come from a meteorite that exploded in the atmosphere, releasing microorganisms that were carried away by the rain. The Draco volans, or flying dragon, is a small Asian lizard with the incredible ability to glide between trees using wings made of skin. Its ribs expand laterally, deploying a bat-like membrane, allowing it to fly up to 33 feet from tree to tree with great maneuverability. It also has a sail under its chin that it uses to communicate with other lizards or intimidate rivals, and its bright wings act as warning signals. Most surprisingly, it uses its tail as a rudder to change direction while flying. Can you imagine a device that blocks reggaeton? Well, Ronnie Bandini created it. It's called Reggaeton Be Gone, and it's capable of detecting the rhythms of the music to interfere with the Bluetooth signal. Although it's illegal in many places, many understand the pain behind its creation, a controversial solution for non-fans of the genre. Now there's an innovative window that uses sand instead of traditional curtains or blinds. This window, known as a sand curtain or hourglass window, allows for unique light and privacy control. By rotating the window, the sand moves across the glass, covering or letting in light as needed. In 1968, Giorgio Rosa, an Italian engineer, decided to create his own country. Rose Island, located in the Adriatic Sea, off the coast of Rimini. This small artificial structure, intended to be an independent nation, was viewed by the Italian government as a threat to its sovereignty. In response, the government ordered its destruction in 1969. The event has become a fascinating subject and has been adapted into a film with the movie The Incredible Story of the Kingdom of Roses, available on Netflix, which tells this incredible story of failed independence. Smart transfer beds, designed to move patients gently and painlessly, have been implemented in several hospitals in China. These beds not only make the work of medical staff easier, but also significantly reduce the risk of injury for both patients and caregivers. The Municipal Stadium of El Alto, Bolivia, is located 13,615 feet above sea level, making it one of the highest stadiums in the world. The altitude causes the air to be thinner, which can lead to dizziness and exhaustion in players. Some soccer players resort to supplemental oxygen during halftime to recover. Spiralized potatoes are prepared using a special tool that cuts them into a perfect spiral, creating a visually appealing appearance. They're then fried until crispy and seasoned with spices, making them an irresistible snack. They've become popular at fairs and on platforms like TikTok for their unique presentation and delicious taste. Neki, a talented makeup artist taking TikTok by storm, transforms faces into visual nightmares. Inspired by the unsettling style of Junji Ito, she creates everything from fake mouths to deformed eyes using liquid latex and professional paint. Her videos often include striking transitions that enhance the terrifying effect. Her work isn't just about makeup. It's pure macabre art in motion. Yes, sometimes you need to put drops in a hamster's eyes, and it's done with a micro eyedropper specially designed for small animals. The procedure must be precise because their eyes are tiny and sensitive. Many veterinarians use a towel to gently wrap them and prevent them from moving. Elephants not only enjoy swimming, but they can swim for hours and travel several kilometers without problem. Thanks to their trunk, which they use like a snorkel, they can submerge themselves almost completely and still breathe. The water cools their skin, relieves heat, and even aids their digestion. NASCAR driver seats are a marvel of custom engineering. To create one, the driver sits on a plastic bag, which is then filled with special foam that hardens, molding perfectly to their body. The seat is then constructed with a layer of carbon fiber, ensuring it remains immobile even when the driver reaches speeds of 186 miles per hour. Cat lovers in need of a little encouragement might want to start heading to Clapham Common Underground Station in London. All of the station's usual advertisements have been removed and replaced with 68 giant portraits of adorable cats. In the often monotonous and stressful world of big city hustle and bustle, it's a welcome change from advertisements warning of health problems or promoting luxurious, unattainable vacations. In South Korea, there's a unique experience, paying to spend time in a voluntary prison. Called Prison Inside Me, it offers a basic cell equipped with only the essentials: a mat, a desk, a toilet, and a tea set. With no clocks, mirrors, or phones, this place aims to disconnect its visitors from the chaos outside. Rich McCaw is a British artist who has gained popularity for his ability to transform iconic locations with simple paper cutouts. Using scissors and a lot of imagination, he places cutouts in front of monuments and landscapes, creating humorous and original scenes. His creations have given a new perspective to places like the Eiffel Tower and the Colosseum, fusing traditional art with photography. Can you imagine having the same last name as a famous fast food chain and getting a wedding gift? That's exactly what happened to Joel Berger and Ashley King. When they announced their wedding in front of a Burger King sign, the company found out and decided to cover all the ceremony expenses. On July 17, 2015, the couple celebrated their love with personalized gifts, paper crowns, and, of course, burgers for everyone. The Greta Otto, known as the glass-winged butterfly, is so delicate that its wings appear to be made of glass. Its secret lies in the nanoscopic structure of its wings, which scatters light without reflecting it, making them almost invisible from any angle. This extreme camouflage allows it to go unnoticed by predators such as birds or reptiles. Plus, it doesn't fly fast or have bright colors, which reinforces its strategy of not being seen. Can you imagine your body freezing at less than 68 degrees Fahrenheit and still being alive? This isn't a science fiction movie. It happened to Anna Bogenholm, a Swedish skier who fell into a frozen river in 1999 and was trapped under a layer of ice for 80 minutes. Her body temperature dropped to 56.7 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be fatal for any other human being. But science took an unexpected turn. When doctors pulled her out, her body was technically dead, but her brain hadn't suffered any damage. The reason? The extreme cold slowed her metabolism and protected her neurons. It was as if she'd been put on pause. Tom Cruise is famous for performing his own stunts without using stunt doubles. In Mission Impossible Fallout, he broke his ankle jumping between buildings, but kept going so he wouldn't ruin the shot. He's also piloted helicopters, performed halo jumps from 4.7 miles high, and climbed without a rope. He even mandated in his contract that CGI not be used to replace his stunts. He wants audiences to feel the real danger in every scene. The Strata-Launch Rock doesn't just look like something out of a science fiction movie. It's the world's largest aircraft, with a wingspan of 370 feet, even larger than a football field. Designed to launch rockets from high altitudes, it has two separate cockpits connected by a colossal central wing. Its development was led by Strata-Launch Systems, founded by Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft. Its mission: to revolutionize access to space. Do you know the Stegotetrabelodon? It was a prehistoric elephant with 4 tusks that lived between 6 and 7 million years ago in what is now the United Arab Emirates. It is considered a prototype of the modern elephant, but with extra tusks. This genus, which inhabited Africa and the Arabian Peninsula during the Miocene and early Pliocene, is one of the most primitive elephants known. At first glance, this hotel room looks ordinary, but if you look closely, there's an airplane cabin. The Corntown Village Hotel in Amsterdam offers a unique suite with a bathroom, dining area, bed, and a cockpit. So yes, you can sleep on a plane, but without taking off. A luxurious experience in the air, but without leaving the ground. Noel Guglielmi has played Hector in 12 different films, always in tough guy or gang member roles. Curiously, his character always has the same name, Hector, which seems to be a director's preference. And he's made this name a sort of personal brand. Imagine a house built by robots. Well, actually, it's a 3D printed house. This innovative process allows for the construction of homes up to 2 stories high with minimal human intervention. And best of all, they're much more affordable than traditional houses. Since they don't use metal, they are corrosion resistant and more sustainable, although this technique is not currently recommended in seismic zones. Tama, a calico cat born in Kinokawa on April 29, 1999, grew up alongside a group of stray cats near Kishi Station, where passengers and Toshiko Koyama, the station manager, regularly fed them. Tama rose to fame when she was appointed station master and operations officer at Kishi Station on the Kishigawa line in Japan. Did you know that in the Flintstones, Betty, Barney Rubble's wife, couldn't have children? This made Bam Bam Rubble the first adopted character in an animated series, touching on the topic of infertility. And Little Bam Bam won everyone's affection. He appeared at the end of the 3rd season and quickly became a beloved character for fans. Sheep have a curious habit. They don't drink moving water. They avoid rivers and streams because, since they can't swim, their wool gets soaked quickly, making them heavier and potentially putting them at risk of drowning. They prefer to drink from calm places, such as watering holes or lakes, where they feel safer. Some high-end cars, like the futuristic iMall 7, take headlights to the next level. They use matrix LED technology that not only illuminates but also projects animations and signs onto the road. These headlights can display icons, dynamic alerts, or even wave with luminous figures when the vehicle is started. They also intelligently adjust their light to match the traffic. They're not just lights, they're... Who would have thought? The 2007 horror film Paranormal Activity holds the title of the most profitable production of all time, With a budget of just $15,000, it grossed over $193 million worldwide. Fun fact, it was filmed in director Oren Peli's home for just 1 week. Did you know that the instrument behind many horror sounds is called the waterphone? It was invented in 1968 and sounds like a mix between screams and ghostly whispers. It works with water in its base and metal rods that vibrate depending on how they're touched. Ideal for giving you the creeps. The world's largest cave, Son Doong, is located in Vietnam, and it's breathtaking. Measuring over 4 miles long, 656 feet high, and 492 feet wide, this natural wonder is home to an underground river, a rainforest, and unique biodiversity. So gigantic that it could fit an entire New York block, including its skyscrapers, and even a Boeing 747 could fly through it without a problem. This is what space junk floating above Earth looks like. The green dots are active satellites. The red ones represent debris fragments smaller than 4 inches, and the orange ones show 1.2 million smaller pieces. But what's truly surprising are the yellow dots, which represent 130 million microfragments floating in space. Uranium glass has a fascinating characteristic. It glows under ultraviolet light. This happens because its electrons are excited by light, and when they return to their normal state, they release energy in the form of visible light. Therefore, it glows like radioactive neon. Although it has a radioactive touch, it is completely safe to use as decoration. Before winning the Oscar for Joker, Joaquin Phoenix had a childhood marked by silent horror. He was born in Puerto Rico into a cult called Children of God, known for abusive practices, child exploitation, and extreme psychological control. His parents were missionaries within the cult, but when they began to notice children being used in sexual activities as spiritual practices, they decided to escape with their children. They changed their last name from Bottom to Phoenix as a symbol of rebirth and lived in absolute poverty for years. Scientists have discovered that the brain can remain active for several minutes after the heart stops. In EEG studies, brain activity similar to deep sleep was recorded up to 10 minutes after clinical death. A keto-zertizenklins experiment monitored tubmint ketaser beteget sivinfarctusal. Some resuscitated patients recalled sounds and images that occurred while they were clinically dead. In tropical forests, there is a fungus called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis that infects ants and controls them like puppets. Once inside, the fungus alters their behavior. It forces them to climb a leaf, bite the edge, and remain motionless. It then sprouts from their heads and releases spores to continue infecting them. Curiously, it doesn't touch the brain, but instead hacks it with chemical compounds. Methane hydrate, or burning ice, is a phenomenon in which a piece of ice catches fire when exposed to a flame. This special ice forms on the ocean floor, where methane is trapped in a structure of frozen water under extreme pressure. Although it looks like a common piece of ice, when heated it ignites like solid gasoline. Methane hydrates contain twice as much carbon as all the planet's oil, coal, and natural gas, and some countries are already exploring its exploitation as an energy source. For centuries, the giant squid was considered a myth, until it was filmed for the first time in its natural habitat in 2012. This creature can measure more than 43 feet, has eyes the size of basketballs, and tentacles with barbed hooks. It lives in the depths of the ocean, between 1970 and 3,280 feet. It is believed to fight with sperm whales, which appear with circular marks left by their suckers. In 2011, astronomers discovered an exoplanet called J1407b, which has enormous rings, 200 times larger than Saturn's. These rings are so vast that there's enough space between them to accommodate a satellite the size of Mars. This discovery astounded scientists, showing how immense and mysterious the universe can be. Impressive, isn't it? For every human, there are 1.6 million ants. Although their number seems terrifying, they are key to the ecosystem. They aerate the soil, recycle nutrients, and even help pollinate. They're small, but they hold the world beneath our feet. At the Grammy Awards, the awards presented are fake. The real statuettes bearing the winner's name and category are manufactured right after the ceremony, once the winners have been officially announced. It's also worth noting that the statuette has a fee that must be paid by the recipient. The character Lightning McQueen from the Cars saga has a full name that few people know: Montgomery McQueen. Throughout the three films, his age varies depending on the plot. In the first film, he is 29, in the second, he reaches 33, and in the last, he is already 40. The Veryovkina Cave in Georgia is the deepest cave in the world, with a drop of 7,257 feet. When a stone was thrown in, it took forever to reach the bottom, which demonstrates how impressive its depth is. Imagine the echo that must resonate inside, creating a unique atmosphere. Hawaii is considered one of the best places to see rainbows. Its climate, with frequent rainfall and many hours of sunshine, creates ideal conditions for these phenomena. You can even see double, triple, and even quadruple rainbows. If you travel to Hawaii, don't miss Volcanoes National Park, especially after a rain, where the rainbows are most impressive. Octopuses are so strange that some scientists have suggested a possible extraterrestrial origin. Their genome, sequenced in 2015, showed more than 33,000 genes, surpassing even that of humans. Many of these genes have no known equivalents in other animals. Furthermore, they can edit their RNA in real time, adapting without modifying their DNA. This biological ability is almost unique in nature. Jim Carrey has an obsession with the number 23, which he claims to see at key moments in his life. After starring in the number 23, he revealed that he noticed it on watches, license plates, and prices from a young age. He founded a publishing house called JIC23 and compulsively records sequences with the number. He believes the universe speaks to him through the number 23, although he admits it causes him anxiety. Lake Nyos in Cameroon hides one of the deadliest meteorological phenomena on the planet. In 1986, it released a cloud of carbon dioxide that killed more than 1,700 people and thousands of animals in a single night. The gas accumulated at the bottom of the lake due to underground volcanic activity, and as the pressure changed, it was released in seconds, creating a deadly cloud. This phenomenon, called a limnic eruption, is extremely rare. Today, the lake has a system of pipes to release the gas in a controlled manner and prevent another disaster. If the water smells like cinnamon, it's not Christmas. It's a warning. Some poisons, like cyanide, can release sweet aromas to disguise themselves. It can also indicate corroded pipes or chemical contamination. It's best not to drink it and call emergency services. On the Iranian island of Hormuz, the water flowing down its slopes takes on a deep reddish hue, as if the earth itself were bleeding. This effect is due to the presence of red ochre, rich in iron oxides, which dyes both the water and the sand. Did you know that Mexican food is scientifically linked to increased serotonin levels? Ingredients like beans, cheese, chicken, corn, and rice contain tryptophan and carbohydrates that help produce the happiness hormone. In the silence of space, there's something that never stopped vibrating, a kind of cosmic echo that began more than 13 billion years ago, and that surprisingly, we can still detect. It's called cosmic microwave background radiation, and it's like the birth cry of the universe. When the Big Bang occurred, The universe was so hot and dense that everything was light and chaos. But 380,000 years later, that light was able to escape, and it continues to travel. It may sound ridiculous, but recent studies are showing that plants have intelligent behaviors. They don't have brains, but they do have complex processes of communication, memory, and even deception. Take the case of Drosera glanduligera, an Australian carnivorous plant. It has such a precise capture system that it uses two types of tentacles, one that throws the prey to the center and another that only activates if something moves more than twice in a row. I mean, they count. Yes, like a trap with a sensor. Or the case of Mimosa pudica, which when a leaf falls, at first they retract as a reflex. But if you repeat the stimulus several times without causing harm, they learn and stop reacting. Synesthesia is a neurological condition in which the senses intersect, causing some people to see colors when hearing music or taste flavors when hearing words. This occurs because certain areas of the brain are more interconnected than usual. Some see numbers and colors, others feel textures when they hear sounds, and some associate emotions with flavors. It is estimated that between 1% and 4% of the population has some form of synesthesia. Composer Olivier Messiaen, for example, said he composed based on the colors he saw in the chords. Keanu Reeves donated nearly 70% of his salary for The Matrix, about $40 million, to cancer research. He did so for his sister Kim, who was battling leukemia and whom he personally cared for years. He also created a private fund to help underprivileged patients. The ferrited fly, or decapitator fly, looks like something out of a horror movie. It lays its eggs in ants, and the larva travels to the brain and feeds without immediately killing it. It then releases compounds that loosen the neck, and the ant's head falls off on its own. The larva emerges and sometimes uses the head as a refuge. Some research suggests that watching horror movies can be a fun way to burn calories. Depending on the intensity of the fear it provokes, you can burn between 150 and 200 calories. For example, The Shining burns about 184 calories, Jaws 161, and The Exorcist 158. The increased heart rate and stress caused by fear appear to be responsible for this extra energy burn. If you encounter a puma in the wild, it's crucial to remain calm. Instead of turning your back on it, walk toward it slowly, avoiding direct eye contact, as this can be interpreted as a threat. Maintain an upright posture and raise your arms to appear larger, which can intimidate the animal. Remember, never run, as this can trigger its hunting instinct, making you a target. All the gold ever mined could fit inside a sphere 91 feet in diameter, a size comparable to that of a hot air balloon. Although this seems like a lot, it is incredibly small compared to the size of the Earth. Polar bears have the unique ability to delay embryo implantation, a process known as diapause. This allows them precise control over the timing of their pregnancy completion, ensuring that birth occurs in winter when conditions are safer and warmer inside the den. Although copulation occurs in spring, embryo implantation is delayed until autumn, optimizing the survival of the pups. The Hawaiian goby fish can climb vertical waterfalls of up to 328 feet, using its mouth and belly as suction cups. It is born in the ocean, but travels upstream to complete its life cycle, advancing inch by inch for days. This feat protects it from predators and transports it to areas with cleaner water and less competition. Its ability is an extreme example of animal adaptation. The great horned owl not only hunts silently, it also deceives with its voice. It can imitate the calls of birds like pigeons or small ducks to attract its prey. When they approach, it attacks unheard, thanks to its silent wings. It has incredible night vision, capable of seeing in total darkness. and its neck rotates 270 degrees, giving it an almost complete attack field. Aerogel looks like solid smoke, but it's real. 99% air, yet it withstands tons of weight. It's so light it can float on a flower, yet so insulating it protects against fire. It's used in NASA spacesuits and probes. Science fiction made reality. The tardigrade, known as the water bear, is a microscopic creature just 0.02 inches in size, yet the most resilient on Earth. They can survive extreme temperatures, from negative 458 degrees Fahrenheit to 302 degrees Fahrenheit. Zinedine Zidane not only charmed with his talent on the field, he also did so in the movies. He appeared in the hilarious film Asterix at the Olympic Games, playing an Egyptian who was very skilled with a ball. In his scene, he steals the ball from a poor guy trying to impress a girl. Who would have thought Zizou also has acting talent? A star on and off the field. In Vietnam, there's a bridge that not only connects roads, it also puts on a show worthy of a movie. It's shaped like a dragon, and while it looks like a normal structure during the day, it transforms at night. Every weekend, this metallic dragon breathes fire for 2 minutes and then surprises with a jet of water for 3. The rain room is a magical room where it rains without you getting wet, like having superpowers. Since 2018, this work has traveled to museums around the world, surprising everyone. The trick? A system with cameras that track your movements and stop the rain just before it hits you. Water recycles and falls only where there is no one. It's like walking in the rain, without an umbrella and without worries. Ashton Kutcher, known for his Hollywood roles, has an unusual physical characteristic. His 2 right toes are joined together. This isn't a joke or glue, but a congenital condition. The index and ring fingers of his foot form a kind of double toe. Although it's not visible to the naked eye, those who notice it are surprised by this peculiarity, which makes him even more unique. In one of the most shocking scenes in Poltergeist, the famous mud pool, the skeletons seen aren't props, but real. The production sourced 3 authentic skeletons from India because they were cheaper than props. The actors involved in the scene didn't learn the truth until years after the premiere. In the Middle East, camel racing has a futuristic twist. The jockeys are robots. Especially in Qatar, these small androids ride well-trained and cared-for camels like elite athletes. Since 2005, they have replaced human jockeys and are now remote controlled. They even carry a walkie-talkie so the owner can talk to the camel during the race. Technology and tradition run side by side. Monty Benedetto has created a curious invention, a testicle cooler, as he calls it. It connects to the air conditioner and, through a hose, directs cool air directly to the private parts. Although it may sound strange, the idea makes sense for those summer days when the heat seems unbearable. Simba, a goat born in Karachi, Pakistan, holds the title for having the largest ears in the world, each measuring 21.3 inches. This unique feature has made it a sensation, drawing attention for its peculiarity. Although it's not an ordinary goat, the size of its ears makes it stand out from the rest. Extreme ironing is probably the most unusual sport you've ever heard of. Ironing clothes in extreme locations. From the top of a mountain to underwater or hanging from a statue, anything goes as long as there's an ironing board. It was born in the United Kingdom in 1997 and combines domesticity with adrenaline. Ironing while skydiving? Yes, that counts too. A very creative way to make shirts impeccable and full of excitement. Aristotle's Valeritis, a 65-year-old Cypriot, danced with 319 glasses on his head. Since 1995, he's been perfecting this unusual skill, moving without spilling a drop. With just 20 seconds of rhythm and balance, he surpassed the previous record of 270 cups. A true dance juggler. Although they look like cuddly living stuffed animals, slow lorises hide a venomous side. They are the only known primates that produce toxins, thanks to a gland in their arm. When threatened, they lick that gland and bite, injecting the venom. In humans, it can cause swelling to severe allergic reactions. Small, adorable, and lethal. In the village of Huangluo, China, women of the Yao ethnic group grow manes over 6.5 feet long. Yes, just like real-life Rapunzels. For them, hair is a symbol of luck, longevity, and beauty, and they only cut it once in their lives. They also keep it dark and shiny with an ancient secret, washing it with rice water. Although it may look like a snake is yawning, it's actually doing something much more strategic. Just like an athlete stretches before a game, snakes open their mouths wide to align their jaws, especially after eating a large prey. This yawn helps them prepare their jaws for the next action, whether it's eating or simply moving. The famous bathtub scene in Mary Poppins isn't as magical as it seems. It's pure camera trickery. To create the effect of Emily Blunt vanishing into the water, the bathtub had a hole in the bottom through which a slide was installed that took her to a safe area beneath the stage. To make it even more realistic, the tub was filled with bubbles. Don't worry, the slide was covered with soft mats so Emily wouldn't hurt herself sliding down. In Seoul, South Korea, there's a cafe that turns reality into a cartoon. It's called Cafe Yeonamdong 239-20. And its decor is entirely inspired by minimalist illustrations. The walls, furniture, and objects are drawn in a way that makes you feel like you're inside a two-dimensional fairy tale. Visitors can take photos in this unique environment. It's like stepping into a comic book. Jumpy is a very special dog, trained by his owner to write his name with his paw. With a paintbrush in hand and blue paint, Jumpy demonstrates his artistic talent. His owner has patiently trained him to perform this incredible trick. A maelstrom is a powerful whirlpool that forms when two currents meet, creating a moving vortex. In Viking times, these whirlpools were feared for their ability to easily sink large ships. Although modern ships are generally safe, cruise ships caught in one can still face giant waves. In extreme situations, a maelstrom can act like an underwater black hole, swallowing everything in its path. Imagine a phone so small it fits in the palm of your hand. The Zanko Tiny T1 is the world's tiniest mobile phone, as small as a thumb. Despite its size, it's fully functional. You can make calls and send messages without a problem. Weighing just 0.46 ounces and measuring about 0.83 by 1.84 inches, it's so compact you'd be surprised it still has room for a SIM card. Velox is a surprising robot from Player Energy Systems, capable of moving on almost any surface, including water. Its innovative design, featuring wavy fins, allows it to swim and crawl without difficulty. This robot has applications in rescue missions, exploration, and supply deliveries in difficult terrain. Thanks to its versatility, it can adapt to different environments, from rocky soil to aquatic surfaces. In a stunning King Kong exhibit at the Empire State Building, the iconic New York City Tower was transformed into a surreal stage. The windows were replaced with monitors displaying stunning views of the city, while a pair of fake hands of the giant ape emerged from the top. In Florida, USA, a unique restaurant, McGuire's Irish Pub, has a rather peculiar tradition. Customers must stick dollar bills on the walls or ceiling of the establishment. According to the restaurant, almost $1 million adorn the place. However, in a gesture of solidarity, the owners decided to donate this impressive amount of money to help the victims of Hurricane Dorian. Julian Voss Andrea's sculptures appear massive, but they hide a fascinating visual trick. From one angle, they appear to be solid steel figures. From another, they disappear. They are made of parallel sheets that play with light and perspective. It's like watching a modern ghost merge with the landscape, an art that changes depending on where you look at it. In Thailand, there's a cafe where fish swim right under your feet. The Sweet Fish Cafe has a fish tank floor that turns every visit into an aquatic experience. Before entering, guests must wash their feet, and the water is kept crystal clear thanks to a triple filtration system. It's like drinking coffee in the middle of an aquarium. Absolutely Instagrammable. The X-Line Dubai Zipline is an extreme adventure that lets you soar above the city from 558 feet high. Starting from the Amouage Tower, this zipline takes you over Dubai Marina, reaching speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. With a 16-degree incline, the experience feels just like flying Superman style. It's 0.62 miles of pure adrenaline and breathtaking views of the city. Definitely the fastest and the steepest urban zip line in the world. Mercedes-Benz has created a futuristic concept car called the Vision AVTR, inspired by James Cameron's film Avatar. This advanced vehicle allows drivers to select their destination with just a thought, change the interior lighting, or choose the radio station, all controlled by a brain-computer interface. Its innovative design and cutting-edge technology allow for a completely immersive driving experience, as if we were in the world of Pandora. This is all. Don't forget to subscribe for more facts with Zarpado.